Hello, good evening and welcome to Primetime News. I'm Nadim Majid.
And I'm Jitendra Gunasena. First, the headlines.
President Maithripala Sirisena to address World Leaders Summit on UN peacekeeping missions today. CB cites record low in demand for flow on grid, which caused island-wide power failure. Yet another woman killed in Kotakethana, Kahavatta. Explosion on board a boat carrying the Maldivian president. 2 people, including the First Lady, injured.
On to our top story tonight. The Ceylon Electricity Board is attributing last night's 4-hour-long island-wide power failure to a technical flaw that arose due to a significant drop in demand. This is the first island-wide power failure to be experienced in 5 years.
An island-wide power failure was experienced at about 11:53 last night. The power supply was gradually restored from around 2 a.m. today.
We were working on an emergency task last night when the electricity went out. We made several calls, but there was no response. We do not understand who we should take our lament to.
It is good if such things do not happen in the future.
We hope that the Ministry of Power and Energy and the Ceylon Electricity Board will work more carefully to ensure that the public is not inconvenienced in this way.
The power was cut for several hours. We as businessmen and even the main institutions in the country face problems. There's a problem with regard to security as well.
Since it is raining these days, the children were bitten by mosquitoes when the power was cut, because we could not even turn on a fan.
I was waiting to take the 3 a.m. bus to get some medication, but I was unable to do so.
We are inconvenienced, seriously. We have children who need to go to school in the morning and we need to go to work as well.
There are 300 megawatt power stations at the Norochole thermal power plant. The first power station has been under repairs for about 100 days now. The trip went off, or rather a breakdown occurred in the second generator about 2 days ago, and even that is under repairs. The third generator was providing the electricity needed for the grid last night. A sudden breakdown occurred at about 5 minutes to midnight, or at exactly 11:55 last night. Due to the imbalance that this caused in the system, an island-wide power failure was experienced. This was caused by a mechanical failure.
ඇතිවෙච්ච තාක්ෂණික ඒ කියන්නේ යාන්ත්‍රික දෝෂයක් ඇතිවෙච්ච දෙයක්.
We believe that the power failure was caused because the grid could not handle the imbalance between the maximum and minimum demand yesterday. We believe that we will be able to restore power generation at the Norochole power plant for the peak time between 6 and 9:30 tonight, and that we will be able to correct the problem by tonight. We will be able to restore normalcy to the entire grid in the coming days. The PUCSL has called for a full report from the CEB regarding the last night's power failure. We have called for a comprehensive report detailing why and how the power failure occurred. A definite cause has not been ascertained as yet. We can only say what it was when we receive the report. Upon receiving the report, the Commission will also look at the steps that should be taken in order to prevent such power failures in the future.
The sudden power failure prompted people to take to social media in search of the reason for the disruption. Newsfirst also made inquiries via Facebook for any information pertaining to the sudden loss of power. We received a massive number of responses from social media users across the country, which assisted us greatly in determining the facts of the situation.
President Maithripala Sirisena, who is in New York for the 70th UN General Assembly, is due to address a World Leaders Summit on UN peacekeeping missions today. Director of the President's Media Divisions, Dharmashri Bandarekanayake, brings us more.
The U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry visited the hotel that the President is staying at to meet with President Maithripala Sirisena yesterday. The President held extensive discussions with the US Secretary of State and several important matters were discussed. Notably, today the President will also address a World Leaders Summit on UN peacekeeping missions, which have been scheduled for about 3 p.m. New York time. The President will also hold bilateral discussions with several heads of state today. Key among these will be the meeting with the Prime Minister of New Zealand, John Key. The UN has also organized the traditional luncheon for heads of state, including President Sirisena. The President will also attend the banquet organized by US President Barack Obama for heads of state this evening.
President Sirisena also participated at the Global Leaders Meeting on Gender Equality and Women's Empowerment at the UN headquarters in New York yesterday.
The President also visited the Buddhist Temple in New York yesterday.
The President engaged in religious observances and addressed the Sri Lankan nationals who had gathered at the temple.
We are hoping to subject our constitution to comprehensive change in the future. We hope to adopt a new constitution and to further ensure freedom, democracy, human rights and fundamental rights, and to re-establish a progressive nation in the global community. The new government has received major international cooperation for economic development, international relations, and in numerous other spheres. We are doing all of this for our great motherland and her people.
Now, we will have a comprehensive report on the ongoing 70th UN General Assembly proceedings with our bureau correspondent Norayana Fernando, based in New York, later in the news bulletin. Stay tuned for that.
Developing Story, brought to you by
Panasonic, packed with power and guaranteed to last for 5 years.
Find it fast. Log on to rainbowpages.lk, the online business directory.
The Met Department is forecasting that the intermittent showers experienced in several parts of the island will continue tonight and throughout the day tomorrow.
Good evening and welcome to the Weather Center with me, Joel Outsgood. Now, you know that heavy showers and strong winds have battered the island over during the past few days. The sudden change in the weather patterns have been attributed to the emergence of a typhoon from the western Pacific Ocean, and the formation of the typhoon has led to a low pressure system over the island, which is forecasted the force of the southeastern monsoon winds. Now, this in turn has caused heavy showers to be experienced in the southeastern parts of the island. Now, also the Met Department says that the typhoon is expected to make landfall in China most probably by tomorrow, which will cause it to weaken, and it is also expected that the southeastern monsoon winds will gradually decrease. However, the intermonsoonal rains are expected to continue.
There is a possibility of this monsoonal condition developing in the island in the days to come. However, we cannot expect the rainy weather conditions to deteriorate anytime soon because there may be thunder showers in most parts of the island during the evening. We are looking at a period where a low pressure system can form cyclones while there is an increase in rains.
Landslide warnings, which we issued for several areas due to heavy showers, have now been lifted. However, the National Building Research Organization warns people residing in landslide-prone areas to continue to exercise caution. Meanwhile, the Badigama Agalia, Badigama Udugama and Nagoda Udugama roads are low-lying areas around the Ginganga were inundated this afternoon when the river broke its banks. This footage was captured in the Dodamgoda area on the Gaul Pathikama Road. The Imuduwa Yakkalamulla and Imuduwa Kodagoda roads and surrounding low-lying areas were inundated when the Pollathu-Modara river broke its banks. The heavy rains also inundated several byroads in the Mathura town and several homes in Vagama. Gale force winds which blew across Madurai, Megaswava and Viharagama last evening damaged 6 homes, while winds also damaged 20 homes in the Kantale town.
Welcome back to Primetime News. In news from here in Colombo, attention was focused on an article published in yesterday's Sunday Times newspaper at a media briefing held at the Central Bank today.
I just wanted to know if you're familiar with an article in the Sunday Times that appeared yesterday titled CB Governors, Senior Officials in Verbal Spat Over Transfers. Are you familiar with the article?
Yes, I saw that. I thought it was a gross distortion of what actually happened, which was that, I met up with some senior officials of the central bank.
The article suggests that these were some of the people who testified against you at the Parliamentary Commission, that you deny this.
I totally deny that. We all work as a team. People may have differences, yes, but how can we move ahead as professionals? That's what we've been trained to do.
You've transferred control of the conference rooms in this very building to your department to prevent people having these kind of meetings. Is this true or not?
No, I didn't transfer the booking system. What had happened was the booking system was not computerized. They were using paper letters to take these bookings down. So as part of the computerization process, which was going on in my department, we decided to bring this also under that.
Speaking further, the governor conceded that allowing the Sri Lankan rupee to float freely in the market had depreciated its value. Since liberalizing the rupee-dollar exchange rate, the rupee has dropped to around 141 rupees against the dollar.
The dollar continues to strengthen. The Fed will most likely increase US interest rates this year, before the end of this year. So that has kept the dollar fairly strong. So like all other currencies, particularly the emerging markets, Sri Lankan rupee has also adjusted to becoming slightly weaker against the US currency. That is, I think, only right, given that we are the exporting nation. Otherwise, our competitor nations who export garments, textiles, tea, other types of exports will gain an unfair advantage against us.
A relatively inconspicuous woman has captured the attention of the country after she appeared on a video posted on the Facebook page of parliamentarian Palitha Jayawardena.
MP Palitha Jayawardena faced this predicament when he was meeting with a friend at a wedding reception yesterday. With the assistance of MP Palitha Jayawardena, the woman was later admitted to the National Hospital in Colombo by the police. Hospital authorities noted that the woman was suffering from a mental ailment and that she is undergoing treatment.
I feared that she was dead. I knelt and touched her head. It was warm. I spoke to her and she said where she was from. I asked her what happened. She said she came to Colombo for work and that she was befriended by a man who took her somewhere and raped her together with several others. She was in her senses when she said all this. It is not a story that would be made up by someone who is mentally ill. I told her that we would find the person who did this and that we must first get her some treatment. I gave her some tea and food. The police were close by. When I mentioned my name and told them that I was an MP, about 2 or 3 of them came over.
The police say that the woman has been identified as a resident of Donderhead.
A woman has been stabbed to death in Opathawatta in Kotakethana Kahawatta, an area which gained notoriety over the past several years due to a series of murders of women in the area.
Acting police media spokesperson SSP Palitha Jayawardena stated that the woman was stabbed to death while she was plucking tea. The 48-year-old is a mother of 3. The police spokesperson said she was murdered at about 3 o'clock this afternoon. 13 women have been murdered in the Kotakethana area, Kahawatta, since 2011. Meanwhile, one person was injured in a drive-by shooting in Minuwangoda this afternoon. SSP Palitha Jayawardena noted that the injured victim was shot at by a motorcyclist while he was driving a vehicle. The victim is undergoing treatment at the National Hospital in Colombo.
A media briefing was convened today to elaborate on a series of programs to be held parallel to World Habitat Day, which falls on the 5th of October.
Plans have been made to hold a Housing Week program. Secondly, a month-long program to mark Habitat Day and another 3-month-long program to mark Habitat Day as well. On Habitat Day this time around, we intend on renovating apartment complexes and declare open the villages which were constructed under the housing program to construct 50,000 homes, award land deeds and select 1,000 homes from each district which need to be plastered and allocate a sum of 250 million rupees from state funds for this purpose. Construction of housing projects which were commenced by previous governments will continue as planned. What I am trying to do is give life to projects which this government commenced. Therefore, I will not at any instance declare open housing projects which were commenced previously.
Meanwhile, Minister Sajith Premadasa attended the National Housing Summit, which was held at the Pradeepa Hall in Maligawatta, which saw the participation of officials of the National Housing Development Authority. Come the month of November, every official district office and the National Housing Development Authority must give their utmost commitment to provide housing loans to 250 housing beneficiaries. We have also drawn up a program to facilitate those who are skilled, transform those who are balanced into skilled persons and direct the lesser skilled persons to find different fields.
Finance Minister Ravi Karunanayake commented today on plans for the 2016 budget.
We will present our maiden budget on the 20th of November. It will be beneficial to the people and will focus on eradicating corruption and establishing good governance and prosperity. We are calling for ideas from the people for this purpose. Submit your ideas to the Finance Ministry. It is possible that the bankrupt opposition is using this as a strategy. What I have to say to them is this: if you have nothing else to do, then do not question the honesty of this government. We have removed the word privatization from our dictionary.
The Finance Minister expressed these views at a meeting held today with the President of the UK-based Chartered Institute of Management Accountants, Miriam Madden. The Minister also met with Asian Development Bank Vice President Wen Shai Zhang today.
The Future of Tourism Summit 2015 in celebration of World Tourism Day was held in Colombo today.
Key topics such as future trends in global travel, new trends in destination branding and sustainability for Sri Lanka were some topics discussed at the summit.
From 450,000 tourist arrivals in 2009, Sri Lanka has experienced an increase of over 200%. As it expects to reach 1.5 million tourist arrivals in 2015. Together with the boom and the infrastructure development, it is important that the relevant stakeholders in the tourism industry are well aware of the future travel trends as well as the responsible practices to be adopted in order to optimize the opportunity we have in rebuilding the nation through significant contribution to the economy.
Yesterday marked the final day of the 6-day celebration of the 125th anniversary of Hindu College, Jaffna.
The final day of the 125th anniversary of Hindu College was held with much pomp and ceremony. The celebration, which was held under the auspices of the school's principal, Aidayananda Raja, saw Northern Province Chief Minister C.V. Vigneswaran attend the event as the chief guest. A cultural performance organised by the Old Boys Union of Hindu College, Colombo, saw Arun Nadi Arunan take part in the performance. A stage drama was also performed at the final day celebrations of the 125th anniversary of Hindu College, Jaffna. A large gathering were in attendance for the celebration. Thereafter, senior journalist and old boy of Hindu College, Jaffna, and coordinator for the 125th anniversary celebration, Jaysri Ranga, presented awards to the students who took part in the stage drama as well as teachers who directed the drama. A grand display of fireworks took place at the school grounds to mark the final day of the 125th anniversary of Hindu College, Jaffna.
What is your secret to success?
The main things has always been to have a cause that I work for. So do your best and enjoy it.
Secret to Success. Every Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 8:55 p.m. on MTV.
And on to a story that is trending now. Vehicular movement on the Colombo-Avisawela low-level road in the Bomiri area in Kaduwela has come to a complete standstill due to a burst pipeline. As the road has caved in, police have advised motorists to use alternative routes. Thereby, motorists using the low-level road from Colombo to Hangwala advised to turn right from the Bele junction in Kaduwela and to proceed on the Kaduwela-Homagama road and turn left at the Wandurumula junction to arrive at the Colombo-Hangwala main road through Sumanathissamawata. When News First contacted the General Manager of the National Water Supply and Drainage Board, Ranjit Balasurya, he noted that a pipeline which supplies water to Colombo from Kalatuawa has erupted. However, he said that the water supply will not be disrupted. It is a proud day for Sri Lanka. Today marks the 15th anniversary of Susanthika Jayasinghe's emphatic victory at the women's 200-meter sprint at the 2000 Sydney Olympic Games. Speaking to Sports First today, Susanthika Jayasinghe said she hopes to establish an athletics academy in the future where promising athletes will receive all facilities and education to further their careers free of charge.
I came up amid many hardships. This is why I have decided to establish a Susanthika Jayasinghe Academy in order to guide the next generation. They will receive nourishment, training and education at this sports school and will go on to represent Sri Lanka. This is my goal.
Born on the 17th of December 1975 in Ethawala, Varakapula, Susanthika Jayasinghe was the youngest of 4 siblings. Widely recognized as the most successful sportswoman Sri Lanka has ever produced, Susanthika Jayasinghe won silver and bronze medals at the World Athletics Championships in Athens in 1997 and in Osaka in 2007. She has also won 6 gold medals at 4 Asian Athletics Championships and 1 gold medal, 2 silver and 1 bronze medal in 3 Asian Games. On this day, 15 years ago, at the 2000 Sydney Olympics, Susanthika Jayasinghe brought home the ultimate prize in the form of an Olympic bronze medal in the women's 200 meters.
We went through many hardships to raise the children. My daughter Susanthika showed an interest in sport and took that route, winning many competitions. I cannot describe how happy I was the day she won an Olympic medal.
She loved to run from the time she was a little girl. Even when her mother advised her against it, she went ahead and ran and always tried to come first.
Susanthika's bronze medal was elevated to a silver medal when the gold medal winner, America's Marion Jones, admitted to doping. Susanthika, Sri Lanka's first Olympic medal winner since Duncan White in 1948, was trained by many coaches, both locally and internationally.
Susanthika became the only athlete who could win a world championship and an Olympic medal. She was able to do so because of her effort and her commitment. Training her was an easy task.
I was the first person on the track when she won the medal. I gave her a bouquet and congratulated her. This was one of the most memorable moments of my life.
Why is Susanthika's victory of such great significance to Sri Lanka?
Many people think that winning an Olympic medal is an easy task and that if you win it once you can do it again. We who have won an Olympic medal are now training even in South Asia. We need to have a correct selection system and the selected few who show exceptional talent must receive all facilities when they go on tournaments.
And that's a wrap of Primetime News. Thank you for joining us. I'm Jitendra Gunasena.
And I'm Nadim Majid. Just a reminder, you can keep abreast with all the news we're following here at News First by visiting our website, Newsfirst.lk. Good night and good luck.